Well, hi. It's Twitch. I'm on the Twitch.tv. Hello. It's Jazz. Despite everything, it's Jazz. How are you? How is everyone? I'm doing cool. I was gonna play Citizens.
Money.
Hi, Majoris. I gotta say hi to everyone real quick. Hi, Majoris. Thank you for subbing 6 months. Jesus Christ. Here, I'll get to everyone. Hi, Tyrant. How are you doing? Went bowling and watched UHF. I hope bowling was fun, and I hope UHF was a delightful rewatch. Pretty sure you've already watched that. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I am thinking about magic and wizards. And we got Shanty. Hi, Shanty. How are you doing? Let me give you. Thank you for the shout out to Tyrant. Shout out everybody, Majora. I'm counting on you. Hi, Shanty. How are you doing? How are you doing? And also, hi. I already said hi, Majora. Hi again, Majora. How are you? Cannonair. Hello. Never played Heretic or Hexen. I played a little bit of Heretic. Not much Hexen. A little bit more of Hexen 2. I think it's generally considered that Hexen 2 is the better game, but what do I know? What do I know? We got some remasters, and what's cool is I don't have to give Microsoft any money because I've owned these games forever. But Night Dive has graced us with a new version for updated systems with new campaigns. I don't know. I don't know what that entails. I didn't glance too hard at everything. This is fresh news. All right, have I gotten everyone? Have I gotten everyone? Hi, Celador. Hi, how are you doing? Hope well. Cake Boss. Update your systems. I'll update your pain non-inhibitors. Anyway. Whoop. Hello. I'm back. I'm back on the streaming. It's been a few days. So I'm like trying to go, how do I do this again? How do I do this? Update this. No! Okay, sure, I'll update that. Don't know what that entails. I mean, don't know what that entrails. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are pretty gory games, but it's been a while. Majoris has a caked up dump truck. True. Send it to me. Pixar, it didn't happen. A dump cake, if you will. That doesn't make any sense. What the hell's a dump cake? You just combine two words. Cake dump? I mean, I would hope you digested the cake upon consumption. If you're shitting out a whole ass cake, then I don't know, maybe seek professional help. I'm back. I already said that. Cake up that dump truck. Look, there's enough talk about cussy. We don't need the dump trussy as well. A dump cake is a simple rustic dessert. Okay, so this is a real thing. All right. What? Hi, Meowstro. Wait. Oh, okay. You're talking about the info there. How are you doing, Meowstro? Can I get a shout out for Meowstro? Right the fuck now. Yeah, you played Just Chatting. You were doing Gunpla, weren't you? How did Gunpla go? So yeah, what happened? What happened in the last few days? Monday, I did stuff none of y'all care about. None of y'all care about any of this, do you? Y'all just want to sit there and you're like, but you just want to ride my cute little butt. What? Tuesday. What happened Tuesday? I did Bandit Day with Uncle Bandit, and he had a bunch of VTubers there. It was a fun time. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know that much about wrestling. Everything I know about wrestling comes via osmosis, via the many people I know who know much more about wrestling. So, I'd like prepared. I'd like set up a character sheet. I'd done that. I'd had it looked over. But there I was sitting there watching things play out. And I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do when I get out there? How many Hulk Hogan jokes were made? I don't remember any. Maybe there were one or two mentions of Hulk Hogan in the VC the VC where we were all hanging out. But mainly it was just bullshitting. And by the way, maybe you don't want me in a VC anymore, because what happened was there were two people paired off. Let's see, what it was Cuppy and I wish I was good with names. But anyway, they were talking about how one of them was lactose intolerant and the other one was celiac. And I made a crack like, hey, maybe your whole gimmick should be shitting your pants on stage. This was a joke. However, what happened was one of them had life kind of getting in the way, so they had to do their match real quick. And they were like, okay, how do we make this work? And they were like, what if we really need to both go to the bathroom and we're fighting for the last bathroom? So shitting their pants became literally their thing. They were fighting to not shit their pants. And this is partially my own fault. So don't ever take my ideas. So yeah, that happened. I did a hardcore match. This was not real wrestling, by the way. This was pen and paper. I think most of you could probably have figured that out. Fight that fight every day. Are you lactose intolerant or are you celiac? Or possibly both, Majoris. Or some other category of eating certain foods that make you shit one's pants. Lactose, okay. What's the game system? Worldwide Wrestling. So, you know, it was like, it's like a pretty simple system. I like ran through all the rules. It's like more improv than it is like super duper numbers based, though there are a couple of dice rolls. So I was paired off with Pecan-san, and I'm going to try to shout them out, but because I think their Blue Sky name is Pecan-chan, or her Blue Sky name. And does it have a dash, or does it have an underscore? Let me see. Nope. Okay, it's an underscore. All right, I'll get this right. There we go. Yeah, that's it. They are super nice, and they also knew a lot more about hardcore wrestling than probably a lot of people, but definitely me. So it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get crushed. That didn't happen. I won. I don't know. The whole time I was like, is it all right if I win? Should I be like conceding some things? But you know, it's wrestling. It's not a competition. Y'all are supposed to like plan things out. It's all pre-planned. It's about putting on a show. But at the same time, we didn't do like a whole lot of prep beforehand. So I'm like, we're figuring this out as we go, folks. And there were one or two situations where, like, I was kind of standing there unsure of what to do next. Powered by the apocalypse? I think so. But basically, like, I did a little bit of research. I watched a little bit of hardcore wrestling, which is quite bloody, and I would imagine many people would not be up to watching it, because I'm pretty sure that's real blood. I mean, it is real blood. I mean, do I know? But the thing I realized is they really like light tubes, which is funny. They do a big old, like, poof when you smash them. So at a certain point, I was just like, okay, so my first move is I'm gonna hit Pecan with a light tube. And I did that. And my next move was more light tubes. So I started throwing light tubes in there. I'm just like, yeah, what about a hail of light tubes? I love light tubes. I did something with scissors in between that. We fucked up each other's faces. And then I think Pecan at some point was like, exploding bat. And I was like, that's cool. Is that a thing people really use? Which it turns out, yes. But I don't know the technical, process of making a bat explode in the ring. So I was like, all right, we're getting towards the end. I'm gonna like escalate. I'm gonna grab the exploding bat, and it's coated in C4. Is that how it works? Yeah. And then, like, I was kind of just winging our heat. Our heat being, you know, the passion of our rivalry and its history and all that. But I was like, okay, so we haven't really established that. So I'm going to yell a bunch of expletives. There's matches where the ring explodes too. Yeah. Yeah. Also, it turns out Japanese hardcore wrestlers are like, no, don't make any of our shit safe. We want everything to hurt, which I respect, but also that's insane. But also I respect it. So yeah, I hit Pecan with an exploding bat, and then I used my special move. I had to come up with some lore stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna stick to the lore stuff, but you know, you gotta have some things to yell about. So I was like, I'm an elf. I hate humans, and I also took the cannibalism bit from Elder Scrolls because Bosmer do that. I was like, that'd be badass. I also came up with an elf home city name that I don't know if I want to stick to, but because it's like Alt Dun Bosmer, I just combined the names of the Elder Scrolls elves. Look. I need material from which I can then, you know, riff upon. So that's what I did. Don't hold me to it. I might change the lore. But yeah, I won. I summoned my ancestral spirits to, you know, punch Pecan in the face at the end with a robo punch. There was also a bit where, look, I wanted to do a whole thing where I like summon an elven elder into the ring and then consume him in front of everyone to gain their life force. Bandit was like, that's a bit much. And I was like, okay, I'll just have some fingers and I'll eat those. Look, it's a hardcore match. I was trying to be hardcore. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It also could have been, I could have done certain things better, but you know, I think this is the first like tabletop thing I've done on Twitch. So room to improve. I will attempt to improve upon my role playing. I don't know. I've like any pen and paper role playing I've done in the past was like kind of short term because we would always have the same story. We would, you know, set up all our character sheets. We'd meet for a couple of games and then the whole thing would evaporate for some reason. So I've never gone through a whole like pen and paper thing. Classic, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get people to show up, which was kind of true of this match. I mean, we only had one person not really show up. Same here, yeah. Which I assume they had some life thing happen, or, you know, their internet blew out, something like that. Only ever done a single, like, 3-hour one-shot. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a one-shot done. We're gonna do more in the DM flaked. Hasn't always been the DM in my experience, but that's gotta be the most catastrophic one. Because the DM's supposed to manage everything, you know? So, yeah, most of my RPG familiarity is from games. Like games that use the D&D system. Even then, I couldn't tell you much about, you know, every little detail of how it works mechanically. And when it's like people in person, I don't really care. Like, I'll min-max in a game of, you know, a game of the video or computer variety. But if I'm just hanging with people, I'm just like, can I make dumb jokes? You know? And yeah, that's how that went. That's how that went. I'd do it again. I'd hopefully have a little bit of experience. There was one kerfuffle where I, like, you know, categorized my finishing move wrong. So it didn't play out exactly smoothly, but we kind of winged it. I could have sworn I had that thing looked over. I could have sworn. But, you know. Bunch of little details, something's gonna go wrong. How are y'all doing though? Oh yeah, Wednesday. Well, Wednesday. I'm forgetting a step. I watched a bunch of movies and I also finished reading Roadside Picnic. Let me start with Roadside Picnic. Highly recommend it. It's the book that inspired the movie Stalker and the Stalker video games, although the Stalker video games also took some inspiration from the movie and added, guns. There's not much guns in either the book or the movie. There's not much action. They're very kind of slow-paced psychological things, very existential. But what, like, kind of, it's got the zone. Usually it's not related to Chernobyl. That was the games. I don't think in the movie it's ever explained, like, where the zone comes from. It just kind of springs up. In the book, it's like an alien visitation, but it's not like, the traditional type. It's like aliens showed up and then they left. And we don't know why they came or why they left, but they left all their shit here. And so that's what artifacts are, which in the book, Roadside Picnic, it's called swag, which made me laugh a little. This was years before swag was a term people used. Swag, exactly. And it's like, the movies, it follows three characters that are going for, I mean, what one of the things that holds all these stories together is there's some kind of thing that allegedly grants wishes. It's not, entirely clear if it actually does, but everyone's going for it. I think in the movie, it's a room, right? And in the movie, the room's basically like, the answer to God and existence and everything. Whereas in the book, it's like a big sphere. And it doesn't pop up that much. It's like mentioned a few times, and then there's a story at the end about actually searching for it. But mainly, okay, this is the most mind-blowing thing about Roadside Picnic. It's set in North America. It's not clear where in North America it's set. It's like northerly, so it might be in the US, it might be in Canada. But it's about, it's about the gig economy. It's about the end state of capitalism. It's about these guys who, go into the zone. They just happen to, have some kind of constitution, some kind of will to do it. Or in the case of the protagonists, like they grew up in the area, so they just know it really well. And it, the process by which this, because they're like selling their wares to like various, hi Inari, hi, how are you doing? How are you doing? I will drink water. And I do highly recommend it. It's not really a plot book. It's more a series of episodes, and it's very character and ideas driven. And it is about the gig economy reducing you to an animal, to oversimplify. I do recommend that. If you enjoy feel-bad Russian literature, that's a good one. On the complete opposite side of the scale, I watched Ice Cube War of the Worlds. Who's seen Ice Cube War of the Worlds? My recommendation is do not watch that alone. Watch that with people. And you need to look closely. You need to look closely because the real shit is in the fine details. Why did you do that? Because I saw that one clip. I saw the clip of the Amazon drone delivering the thumb drive where Ice Cube is in the Department of Homeland Security. He's the only guy there for some reason, the whole movie, even before the aliens invade. He's the only guy there. And he has no thumb drives that he can use to, spoilers, deactivate Goliath. which is not in the book, obviously. But he needs to insert the virus with a thumb drive. But they don't allow thumb drives in DHS. So he has to order one because his daughter's fiance works for Amazon and can pilot the drone. Why did he need to make an order in order for... Who cares? But after that clip, I was like, I'm curious. It's somehow a much worse movie than I ever could have imagined. It was like made during COVID, which is why you almost never see two people in the same shot. They're all like in little windows on Ice Cube's desktop. And, I guess for 5 years, was it Universal? They were sitting on it going, this is a piece of shit. What do we do with it? I don't know. Let's shove it on Amazon Prime. That's what we do with it. Hey. How to sum this up? Okay, first of all, Ice Cube is a fucking asshole who uses his DHS security clearance to spy on his family. He's spying on his daughter who has a terror threat attached to her. Hi, Glue. Hi. Can I get a shout out for Glue? Mods! Oh, wait, Glue, you're a mod. Shout yourself out now, or I'll do it. Feels like an Asylum movie made during the pandemic. Hello. Thank you for Spooky. So, yeah. Yeah, he's spying on his family, which is treated as like a big joke. It seems irresponsible to use the surveillance, capabilities of the United States in order to tell your daughter, hey, you should be eating healthier for the baby. And hacking her fiance's Facebook and shit and pretending to be her. Now, mind you, this is setting up a change in his character where he later realizes, oh, that's bad. But he's not even hiding it. Everyone knows he's spying on them. What an asshole. And then the aliens invade. And here's the twist with the aliens, right? I don't think usually it's explained why they're even invading. They're like, yeah, we're gonna eat them or something. But in this, they have a motivation in this version, and their motivation, spoilers, like it really matters. I mean, it kind of matters if you want to unveil the stupidity as you watch it, but who's gonna do that except for me? They eat data. So they're trying to get to our data centers. The whole War of the Worlds thing is a distraction so that they can sneak to our data centers and eat all our data for some reason. I don't know how that works though. What data are they eating? Do they just eat computers? There's computers everywhere. You don't need to go to data centers for that. But I guess information, that kind of data. Why aren't they hacking our libraries? Why aren't they eating all our books? This is a question I kept asking. If all they want is just generic data of something, why do you need the big data centers? They're gonna eat prawn history. Funny thing. Once they start eating from the data centers, you watch as Ice Cube's Facebook is slowly deleted. Because I guess they're eating everyone's Facebook. I don't really understand it either. I still don't. Also, there's apparently tiny alien robot things. I'm not sure. I don't remember if they were aliens and the tripods were just there to suck up the data and they were inside the tripods, or if, they are the machines. They're alien robots. There's like the tiny guys, and they can just sneak in there. And I'm like, just send in the tiny guys to steal data. No one's gonna notice that. They're like little bugs. So anyway, they defeat the aliens by uploading a virus to the big data computer, which is a secret. It's a secret system, a secret experiment to spy on people more, even though it's established that they're already spying on people. But I guess they had a big computer in the basement that spied harder, and like they activated it, and that's why the aliens came down, because they're attracted to data. The correct term is little people. They're little bugs. They're little spider things. They're little robot spiders. They eat cell phone data in one scene. Like half the internet is already. Yeah, you'd think in the process they would have just sucked one up, organically. Sucked up some Trojan horses, sucked up some Bitcoin miners. Who needs a big PC to stock peeps? We have better, easier ways. Yeah, I don't actually know what this big computer was supposed to do differently. It was more powerful. That was about it. Anyway, there are many little details in that movie that are truly wretched. But again, what gets me are like all the little things. So like if you watch like an old hacking movie like Swordfish or, Hackers, they don't really explain like how the computer shit works. They're like, I'm doing the hacking. I'm breaking through the wall. It's like, okay, don't over explain it. We don't need explanation, or else it's just going to become abundantly clear how little you understand this world, / it would be too boring if you did do it accurately. So the way this movie does it is it does show every step of how Ice Cube's doing it, which apparently consists of a lot of right-clicking over drones and commandeering the drone that way. Me using a 4090 with an X7800 XT pixelated video of my daughter eating junk food while pregnant. Yes. It's the little things. A quarter pounder in France is called a Royale with cheese. I get that reference. Yeah, it just... The more you watch, the less sense it makes. And then you get hit with tweets by real people. There are cameos by Chuck Schumer, Tucker Carlson, and my favorite, at the very end, Joe Rogan. Hi, Uncle Bandit. I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're doing well. You had a whole lot of planning and shit. I hope you're resting up good. I had a blast. Although I was very, I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I was trying to wing it. I think I could wing it better, the next time that might happen. Nightmare blunt rotation. You're telling me. Ugh. Chuck Schumer was a jump scare. I was not expecting that. Recovered quicker than I thought I would. Excellent. Excellent. Do rest the rest of 1,000 kings. I don't know what that means. But you did great. You had a blast both literally and figuratively. Yeah, I blew up Pecan's head. That was a fun time. Pecan's super sweet. I wanna catch some more Pecan for sure. Wanna chill with her more. Yeah, I was like, I need you to be really mad at me, call me a piece of shit and all that in the interview. And then Pecan went out there and then came back and was like, I'm sorry, you're too nice. And I was like, no, I'm a bitch. And then, very cool individual. Do follow them. I mean, I already shouted them out. I'm going to do it again, though. Actually, I didn't... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. You got a shout out. Have another one. You deserve it. Yeah, but then here's a shout out for Pecan. Yep. Truthfully, I figure you two shared the same wavelength, which is why I figured you'd work well together. Yeah, I would say so. I've not, but prior to that, didn't interact with Pecan too much, you know, organically out in the world. But I'd like to do more of that for sure. Maybe play some games at some point. I don't know. I don't know if she's into it. But yeah, so that was Tuesday. I'm trying to when did I watch War of the Worlds? What day did that happen? Was that also that wasn't also Tuesday. Was that Monday? Who cares? I think that was Monday. And then we had movie night, which you know, we watched 2 movies as we do. The first one was an adaptation of a Chinese ghost story. Now that is like kind of a famous Chinese live action movie by Chui Hark. Was it cool? It was something that I'm going to get into it. I had very fond memories of this movie. It was an animated version of that live action movie. It was a remake. And it was a Japanese-Chinese co-production where a bunch of, you know, anime big timers of the time, including dudes that worked on Akira, did character animation. And then in China, they did CGI for all the backgrounds and effects. I'll get into that in a second. It's a cute little movie. I think what I liked about it when I was a kid, however, because it's a cute little romance between a, you know, down on his luck loser and a ghost wife. And it's cute and adorable. But, you know, I was into the Exorcist characters. Those characters are fun. So, like, you got this big bearded man who's like halfway between a Lord of the Rings type dwarf and a pirate. He's got a massive beard. And then you've got his rival who is a Shaolin monk with the big ears, and he's just the angriest motherfucker ever, and these 2 guys hate each other. He's like, you know, like the monk's kind of a Pai Mei from Kill Bill type. He's just a big old bitch. And freaking they just want to kill each other. And the dwarf guys got like a mech, and they do Dragon Ball Z fights throughout the movie. That stuff's cool. Now, when I saw this as a kid, it was on VHS. Pan and scan VHS. I had very good memories of the character animation, which is very pretty. Like, all the characters look great. Oh, and there's also like a big naked Dragon Ball Z man. He's like giant. He's like, you know, the ghost girl's like, you know, supposed current BF whom the down on his luck loser, you know, takes her from him because he's a, you know, narcissistic prick. But he is giant and he is naked. And, you know, she does accidentally break a strand of his hair and he's like, "You fucked me up, bitch." And then he goes crazy and starts murdering people. That stuff's all cool. The CGI does not hold up, though. I was not expecting the CGI to hold up that well. Because, you know, this is 1997. And I was like, it's probably going to look like Lawnmower Man. However, I wasn't really prepared for how many mistakes become very clear when you've got a 1080p version of it. There are compositing errors all over the place to the point it was kind of distracting me, because there's like, you know, a plethora of instances where the, you know, the 2D stuff and the 3D stuff are not properly synced. There's like a lot of pixelation. There's a lot of bad chroma key where you can kind of see the green part of the image. There's even one shot where it's like, "Hi, emo, hi. Can I get a shout out for Not Emotion?" There's one shot where, like, you look in the distance and there's, like, the outline of an element that they clearly superimposed on it, but they never cleaned up the outline. I wouldn't have seen this, firstly, because I wasn't that observant. I was a child. But also, like, on VHS, where it's like, you know, it's not the best picture quality when you can see it, though. When you can see it. It's like, oh, there's so many problems here. Oh. So I wouldn't. Ooh, 15 consecutive streams. Don't call me bitch, bitch. You bitch. But hi, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. I'm kind of. It's been a couple of days, so I'm like trying to get my brain back in the streaming mood. I'm having a little bit of, a little bit of deer in headlights, but I'm moving through it. I'm moving through it. This is kind of, this is me at the start of every stream to one extent or another. So, what was I on about? I would say if you're like interested in animation history, it's worth a watch on that level. If you're expecting, if you're expecting the aesthetics to still look good, you will be very, very disappointed. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine watching shit that looks bad if it's at least interesting, and it is interesting. But not everyone is. It's not like funny bad animation. It's like fascinating. I kind of feel like it's a case of they didn't have time to finish it. Because there's too many mistakes in there for it to just be it was 1997 and they didn't have enough money. They clearly were on a time crunch. It's interesting to me, but I was kind of cringing, like, am I really showing this like sub Lawnmower Man level CGI to people? But I kind of enjoyed the movie, nevertheless, just with a lot of like asterisk. And then the second movie we watched, though, Dead Talent Society. I had never heard of this movie. It's also a Chinese movie, also about the afterlife. And it's a very cute movie. It's very traditionally, like, solidly told as a story. It's got like, characters, their motivations make sense. It's got a clever idea. It's got rules to it. So if you don't know, and unless you were there, you might not know. It's a little bit like Beetlejuice. It's like, it's the afterlife. These people are dead, but it's not like, it's not like creepy so much as, it's very bureaucratic. So basically, when you die, you become a ghost, and you enter a world where you gotta scare people. You gotta be known. Otherwise, eventually you will fizzle out. And, it's about this down on her luck loser who, hasn't scared a whole lot of people. Something happens that accelerates her own, fizzling out. And she's got to, like, get into the system, so to speak. She's got to get licensed. So she gets, various events happen. She gets taken under the wing of a ghost agency that's kind of down on their luck, and together they, confront their demons, grow as people, and so on and so forth, and the characters are all likable. The characters, very good acting, very good bits, lots of good jokes. Sounds quite rad. It is a very good movie. It is a good crowd pleaser type movie, despite the fact that it has, like, some very graphic violence. All the violence is like funny. It's all like kind of wacky Looney Tunes violence. So if you're fine with blood, because again, they're ghosts, they can't die, but they bleed a lot. There's a lot of good gags with that. And yeah, I think it might be on Netflix. I could very easily recommend that movie. I looked up the director on it. Well, I wasn't like trying to do a piece of time. I wasn't trying to do a whole lot of research or anything, but I did like happen on the director, and most of their work, the early part of their career, it turned out was Warcraft Machinima, which is fascinating. There's even like a bit in that movie where like one of the ghosts is playing an MMORPG, and I feel like that must have been like, you know, a reference to that part of that person's career. But anyway, it's very cute. You know, there's lots of laughs, there's some tears. I heartily recommend it because I like a lot of weird movies that are experimental, but this one's like, this is a safe rec for anybody. Very, very traditionally good script, very on point. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened then. What else is going on? I missed, what was the name again? Oh, Dead Talent Society. Did I say the name? Here. Dead Talent Society. And this was one of the movies that, here, I'll put it there. This is one of the movies that I had recommended to me. I think Sella recommended it to me. Sella's got a lot of recs on the wheel. And people voted it, so I was like, okay, that movie looks pretty good. And yeah, it was well worth the watch. I do recommend it if you want to watch something kind of lighthearted, but got a little bit of spooky shit in there. It's not a scary movie, but you know, it's got fun spooky shit. You know, kind of like in the Beetlejuice tradition. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about what the schedule is looking like for this week. I was gonna start Citizen Sleeper today because that's been on my list for a while. I've heard like some comparisons to Disco Elysium, like in terms of it's a role-playing game where it's more about your choices impacting narrative. I was gonna start that today, but then lo and behold, we got news of Night Dive remastering Hexen and Heretic. And then I was like, I kind of want to check that out. So we're going to check it out. I'm not going to commit to playing both one after the other, but I do know that apparently we do have a new campaign again, because every time Night Dive remastered, we doing videos? Yeah, we're going to do videos in a little bit. Every time Night Dive remasters like Doom or a Quake game or something like that, they, you know, have another episode out to go with it. And it's usually Machine Games supplying that episode. I don't know if Machine Games, are we voting? Well, I mean, on Sunday. Are we voting on, what are we voting on? Sunday is when we usually do movies. Are you going to play the System Shock 2 remaster? I want to. I did pick it up. It was on sale and I picked it up. I don't know if I want to, like, make that a Friday game after Fallout, though, because I think it's, like, kind of a longish game. It is an RPG, but it's not, like, long by RPG standards. But I do have System Shock 2, like, on the list of things I want to play on stream. And I do have it on the wheel. So, also it has multiplayer. System Shock or Hexen Heretic, because I do think they have multiplayer. They have System Shock. Does it? I don't remember it having multiplayer, but I also didn't remember Deus Ex having multiplayer, which it did, which is very funny to me. Let me see. System Shock 2 multiplayer? There was apparently co-op at some point, so I would imagine Night Dive would reinstitute that. Yeah, I mean, you've always been able to play, getting back to Heretic and Hexen. As for System Shock multiplayer, I'll look into that. I'm not planning to do multiplayer with that game. It's not really what I know it for, like with Deus Ex. Those games kind of came out pretty close to each other. Were they the same? Are they the same studio? Just thought it was weird. Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of it. Let me double check that. I know the same studio made System Shock 1. Okay. Looking Glass Studios and Irrational Games. It might have been under the same umbrella, but a different team. Those games do kind of, System Shock 2 and Deus Ex, they are kind of like tied up in my mind together. You know, because they were both kind of the RPG kind of immersive sim games of that specific time. Even though there's also Daikatana, I suppose, which I don't think I ever got past the first episode, the one time I tried streaming that. Because everyone is like, once you get past the first episode, it's actually not that bad. I just have never been able to do that. The first episode is so dog shit. You have so many fucking bugs to shoot, and they're all tanky as hell for some reason. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. I like playing weird jank. But yeah, today I also haven't played that much of Hexen or Heretic, so a lot of this is probably going to be new. It's just the Doom engine, so I imagine they probably just kind of took the stuff they had with Doom and, you know, kind of schmooved it on over to Heretic and Hexen. It's like saying you're getting your arm cut off isn't bad once they get through the bone. Yeah, but look. Sometimes terrible games are fun to experience with people. That's one of the advantages of streaming is when I'm playing a piece of shit alone and I'm screaming, "What the hell is this shit?" No one's around to hear. Unless I like record it or something. But, you know, when I got y'all gazing into the abyss with me, that's a nice communal experience. So, I'm not planning to play Daikatana anytime soon. There's so many games I gotta play. Yeah. And then Friday, of course, we're gonna continue Fallout. We got to the hub. That game is, you know, like with System Shock 2, I think that game's not too long as far as RPGs go. Compared to Fallout 2, which is like real lengthy. There's a lot of girth to that game's amount of content. A lot of girth. That's the best word I could have chosen. So, you know, I want to do Fallout 2 at some point, but maybe not for a little while. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of mosey around the wasteland, see how far I get. And Sunday, I'm still thinking. Sunday, Monday kind of twisted up in my mind because I want to play more Devilated. I was planning on, like, you know, in one fell swoop doing a playthrough and then another playthrough because, you know, you get to choose one of two levels, so it's like I'm missing out on half the levels, but this game's also longer than I thought. I think this game was made by a crazy person because it's taking a little while to get through. Not that I'm not having fun with it, but it is like long for a game like that. And hi Alki, I'm going to catch up your Chicago style hot dog. There's too many things on Chicago style hot dogs. I don't even think they taste bad. It's just like a little unwieldy. It's like you got a fucking pickle in there. You got tomatoes. It's like, how am I supposed to hold all that? You got your mustard. Like, they don't taste bad. They're just like, this doesn't register as a hot dog to me. This registers as some mutation of hot dog, some third type slander. Are you a Chicago hot dog fan, Meowstro, or a Chicago hot dog hater? That scared me. You are a Chicago hot dog. Cool. Someone consume Meowstro. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Meowstro. I remember I made that bit right when it was a meme. And then I forgot about it. And now today I have been reminded. I should not have said mustard unless I was prepared. But like I said, I forgot about it. So how was I to know? Possibly by remembering that I had that in there. What was I talking about? Mustard! So what I was talking about was I'm going to play through that game once. Sunday, I might spin the wheel and like figure out our next game. And then maybe I'll get it done Monday. Maybe. If not, then I'll figure it out. But at least we'll know the next game. Because, you know, I've got a bunch of, you know, fun little requests, and I want to, like, try them out. I don't want to spend a bunch of weeks on one game only. But I'll throw a replay, like a New Game Plus of Devil-Lated, into the little, you know, the little pile of things I would like to get back to, you know? Like, I would like to get back to Illbleed and do the final, you know, the true ending of Illbleed, which requires playing through that whole game and saving no one after playing through it once, I do believe. And I also want to get back to Cruelty Squad and get those other endings. Need to get them. Need to get them. I have so many. I figured out how to just, you know, get a shit ton of money. You just gotta catch something. You gotta catch that golden wheel or whatever. And even though they're like, it's gonna take you 10 minutes of fishing to get it, it's like, it didn't take that long for me. I bought everything that I can buy with money. Haha. Honestly, though, it did kind of make a whole lot of sense once I figured out how the game Forbes Corporate Warrior works. I talked about this a little Sunday. Y'all know Forbes Corporate Warrior? No, you don't. Let me find Forbes Corporate Warrior. The ad is happening soon. We will run a video or two after that. Forbes Corporate Warrior. I wish I could find the exact clip I watched, but it didn't have. Yeah, I keep forgetting Vinny played it. Let me just find a long play. But this is a mech game about stocks. This is a long play? It is not. This is the soundtrack. That's not what I'm looking for. I think this just shows this. Oh! I think this just shows the beginning. Let me Now I want to play this. Because look at that. Straight up Cruelty Squad core. I have spent a decade of my life. I don't care. Did Forbes? Why did Forbes make this? Did Forbes make this? I would imagine they did. But like debt equity, stock price, PE, cash. This is a mech game. And now I understand why the Cruelty Squad people made a mech game. Wow, that's good music. Why is it so quiet? That's why. Now it's too loud. Yeah, I don't know how you would even get this working. You probably got to do some DocsBox shit. I'm looking. There's like a talking head, but I don't think he pops up in this bit. No, not the stonks. This feels like a fake game. It's a mecha game. It's Cruelty Squad if it was Armored Core. Hi, Loki. Hi. Shout out, Loki. Or shout yourself out. Do it. Well, I mean, Cruelty Squad if it was Armored Core. Isn't that just Psycho Patrol R, their next game? Yeah, I was just talking about how I still need to go back and... Thank you for the shout out to Loki. Loki. Everyone follow Loki. How did Days Gone go? Loki's so handsome.
Good job.
But yeah, I was just talking about...
Level 2. Vicious competitors known as piranhas. The
Piranhas.
doesn't work on these guys, so find and acquire.
Yeah, I was just talking about how I need to go back and play the other endings of Cruelty Squad. Although I looked up how to get them, and it does seem like you gotta do some very obtuse shit. But I will do that. I will do that. But anyway, the ads are coming, so I'm going to take a... It was fun story just picking up. Nice. All I know is you have to ride your wife as much as you ride your bike. But anyway, we'll watch some videos after the ad break, and then we're gonna check out this Heretic / Hexen remaster. Should be a fun time. I don't stream on Thursdays, but I had to make up for not doing it on Monday. Sometimes I get in that mood. Okay, that's the outbreak though. I'm gonna be back in a minute or two. Get snacks, go piss, go do your things. BRB. Okay. Right. Woo! Man. Let me get the... Well, we're gonna start watching a video. I forget how much the freaking... I don't know if it's a stutter. I've always had some kind of speech impediment. And normally, like, you know, when I start streaming, it goes away. But when I take a few days off, it, like, kind of rears its ugly head again. Alright, so what do I want to watch? Ninja keeps recommending Papa Meat vids. And I think Bud might have started watching this one. Green Lovers. Yes, I mean, look, I've got a playlist of the videos people request, and I have it sorted according to length for my own purposes. So that video is 47 seconds. All right, let's watch it then. Let's start with this. better not make me regret this, Meowstro.
Hey guys, I'm gonna sing my favorite song. Please don't tease me. It's my very first time. I don't know how to sing, so just please don't tease me.
Okay.
Green lovers come rescue me.
Well, I enjoy rotoscoping. Okay. So, by the way,
Hey
remember
guys,
when I
thanks for
said
watching.
I hope I
And
don't
forget
regret
to
this?
Download this free exclusive song over at www.
You remember when I said that 10 seconds ago?
.uk.
Fuck the UK. Thank you for that, Meowstro. Okay, now I'm gonna do what I was thinking of doing and actually react to a Papa Meat video. What's the most recent one? I think it's this one. Hotels are interesting.
Channel. How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're going to talk about hotels. We've all been to a hotel at some point in our lives, and the experience
true.
can vary greatly. From a luxury hotel that caters to your every need to a roach-infested Motel 6.
Yeah.
There's a nice little spectrum out there. Regardless of
I've never stayed at a roach-infested motel. I did once stay at a motel where the toilet was leaking everywhere. That wasn't fun. Good thing that was only for a night. Also, I do know when I was a very, very young child, my grandparents took me to New York and we stayed in the Waldorf Astoria, which is one of the most famous fancy hotels in the world, or at least in New York. I only remember the elevators being fancy and not much else.
what you're able to afford, going to a hotel can be a bit of a gamble. Sometimes they're dirty, sometimes the buildings are run down, and oftentimes there's a slight feeling of danger. I'm guessing.
Is that where a Waldorf salad comes from? The Waldorf Astoria? Any salad historians out there know this fact? I do know the Altoona Hotel is where Altoona pizza comes from, which is pizza made of Kraft singles. Of course, that hotel was in Philadelphia, and I think that hotel burned down, which is what it deserves.
From crackheads or maybe weird neighbors.
I'm from
next door.
Waldorf
What's
and
that in the room?
Stantler from the Muppets.
Apparently, hotel room break-ins
I don't think
have
that's
become
true.
surprisingly common, and by that I mean,
But
I
maybe
feel like
it
that's
is.
always been a thing, right? So much so that there's an entire genre of video focused on giving tips on how to use household objects to lock hotel doors from unwanted guests or
Oh.
staff members, using things like hangers, towels, and forks to basically block the door. People even
What
buy
the
additional portable locks.
What? Is this necessary? Why would you want to? Look, if I'm staying at a shitty hotel, I want it to be as little time as possible. I just remembered, by the way, that same trip where I went to New York, I think my grandparents took me to Gettysburg. And their first choice for a hotel was something on the battlefield. And I didn't want to stay there because they didn't have a TV. Now I wouldn't care because I don't give a shit about, watching TV unless it's like, I can hook up a console or something. That's the end of the story.
Locks and alarms online to ensure their safety when staying overnight. You might think that doing this 20-minute long setup to lock your door or whatever while you're sleeping might seem outrageous, but at the same time, you don't want to be that one statistic. So let's look at just how bizarre and terrifying the world of
one
hotels
statistic,
can be.
Are we gonna talk about ghosts and serial killers?
Over time, we've seen a large increase in sexual predators going after
Okay, that's a good start. That's good. That's
women in hotel rooms.
ghosts.
Came swinging.
Ghosts.
Getting into this one, dude. Jesus Christ. Can't ease into it at all. Holy. I thought we might start with like petty theft, but nope. Here we go. While creeps preying on innocent women have been a tale
Don't
as
like
old
that.
as time itself, more people have felt comfortable coming forward to share their stories. One
Tale
woman from Austin,
old as
Texas recounts the
time.
night she had awoken to a man who
Beauty
had somehow
and the
gotten access
Creep.
to her hotel key. As he was attempting to open the door, the woman noticed his finger prying through the door, trying to undo the latch. The woman screamed and charged at the door and slammed it shut, yelling, "Get the f*** out!" The man screamed,
I mean,
"Ah!"
fair.
and quickly scurried off. She quickly called 911, but soon realized that the man's severed fingers were still in the door latch when the
Whoa! What the hell kind of door was this? How sharp were those edges?
police arrived, which is awesome. Yeah. I would put him in a fucking jar. If I was that woman, I would pickle those fingers 100%. And it goes without saying that more often than not,
This is
the
just
source
like
of
my
most
wrestling
disturbances and
match.
strange occurrences are the hotel guests themselves. For example, one man was arrested for gooning in the hotel lobby in Nashville. Such a beautiful musical city, huh? A man named Jonathan Walker had
Why is that Don Draper?
visited a Hilton Garden Inn, and he started using the computer in the hotel's business center, despite not being a hotel guest. He started playing porn on the speakers for a long period of time until hotel workers started
Don't
to
do
notice.
that.
They called the police, who approached him and tried to get
Don't
his
do
attention.
that.
Jonathan refused to stop watching porn, to the point that the police officers had to take him into custody and remove him from the premises. As a
Okay, so like, I think you're just using stock photos. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think this is like footage of what happened. But let me just say, in general, I don't think porn addiction is a actual thing. I think that's like a societal thing, because people are like, people will get addicted to gooning. And it's like, yeah, but like, you can get overly obsessive with anything. It's not actually like getting addicted to drugs in any case. However, if you're like going into a public place to like get your rocks off like right then and there, you might have other mental issues going on. I'm just saying, you might want to look into that. Don't be respectful. No matter what you're into, be respectful of people's boundaries. You can get addicted to dopamine. That's true.
turns out this was a repeat occurrence, and he had already
Away
been
from
banned
keyboard,
from the
getting your
hotel
rocks up.
previous-
Look. You have a rock tumbler. But look. If you gotta go goon, well, first of all, thank you for going off to your own space. Well, okay, you were subverting expect. Don't tell everyone you're gooning it. As I was saying, don't tell anyone you're gooning unless you have an understanding. And don't do it in front of them, especially unless you have an understanding. None of those people consented. So just don't do it. I think y'all know that. Don't do it.
He was charged with trespassing. He must have been locked in, dude. He's like, I can't hear you.
I like how he thinks it's like a public library where you can just go in and watch.
Do not announce your
Public library,
imminent
you don't watch porn,
masturbation.
is that what you do?
Exactly.
It's a public library. What are you talking about? It's like a public library where they just let you watch porn, beat your dick all day, you little. Right, guys, a public library, and they can rent shelves.
Had the stream muted and minimized.
All I want to know is when they're like, he did it for a long time.
But just don't tell me. Just don't tell me unless we know each other that way. We like have an understanding. Don't tell me you're wanking. I think it's so fucking funny when people are like jumping into Twitch streams and going, I came here and I wanted to goon to this femboy's feet, but I don't see anything to goon to. It's like, first of all, don't. There are websites made for that purpose. Go to Chatterbait, go to someone's Fansly. Don't jump around Twitch trying to goon. It's not high quality gooning. You can't, there's rules here. We can't be that goonery.
I'm wondering, because they said he was a repeat offender to this hotel. I wonder
Thank you.
if they just saw him and they're like, he'll be done in a bit.
It sounds like he was just
Ew.
watching, not
I
actually.
do better.
Clean your keyboard. Even if you're not gooning on your keyboard, clean your keyboard. I did that not that long ago. And it feels good not to have a bunch of, crusty shit down under the keys. Feels great even. Go clean your keyboard. I still gotta clean my mouse pad though.
And you better believe, well, I think he was doing some dry rubbing, trying to start a little Indian fire. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Ew.
pocket pool.
Ew.
Also, too, there's no way they're cleaning those keyboard keys. Just leave it.
They
You know what I
dust
mean?
them probably.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, this is not the only story about gooning in a hotel. There's also Florida serial hotel gooner. That's right.
That's the face.
Story about gooning in a hotel. There's also Florida.
That's the face of a man who got caught gooning. It's like, well, I've got a story to tell the kids.
Florida serial hotel gooner. That's right, my friends. Serial hotel
Serial.
gooner. In 2019, at Hotel Zamora, Jason Bradley
Zamora.
walked into the hotel balcony naked and started masturbating in front of a hotel staff member. That's just not fun. That's a little peekaboo.
Don't
That's
do
a little
that.
Jack in the Box that I don't want to see.
Isn't that sexual harassment?
Yeah, well, it says the guy with the public library thing. How many I get it? When management intervened
What?
and told him to stop, Jason ran back to his room and locked the door. Like a little toddler. It's like when your parents try to pick you up from your friend's house and you try to hide and be like, just see if I can stay over again. Except this time it's like a 6'3" naked guy, hard dick run through the lobby. Police were promptly called and he was arrested shortly after. 3
Yeah.
days later, Jason was again arrested for the same thing. This time at a Hyatt hotel near Clearwater Beach.
Completely different hotel. This guy goons in hotels like Wes Scantlin gets drunk.
This time, Jason was caught jerking it in a beach house cabana that he didn't pay for, which was the biggest crime there. And that
The
was after 3 women
Copa.
complained about him. So he was hiding there beating for a bit. Took 3 women to come forward and be like, there's a guy
Copa.
in there. And let me tell you, I don't think he paid. When
Kahuna.
confronted, Jason punched the employees in the face and then ran into the parking garage.
She
to
Neon
hide. You think
and
that
my
was the hand he was
Genesis
using
till I
to hang his cock?
Evangelion
No, I think he
episode
punched with his other hand
69
and kept beating.
extremely
He's
loud
beating
and
and
correct
punching.
buzzer.
That's an alpha. The police were called and Jason was once again swiftly arrested. He now faces multiple counts of lewd exhibition and assault. Just a few months ago, he was also
Oh,
arrested
no.
for indecent exposure involving a minor. Just had to put the little chair. on top.
Okay, well,
He's just a guy.
that doesn't-
Okay, no, he's a pedophile.
Look, it's not like
Some
he
people
was
have
good
reported
before,
strange hotel
but
guests sneaking into their hotel rooms in the middle of the night, creating a traumatizing experience.
Just had to give a
Taxisi,
kitty a
model
bath.
from Thailand, posted a
I hope
viral
it was
TikTok
good kid the bath. Hi gun. I hope you're doing well. We're watching a video about weird people doing weird things in hotels. You know what? I assumed this was going to be more about weird hotels and not freaks in hotels, but you know, you get what you can.
telling a horrifying experience she had in a Japanese hotel. She had traveled to Japan for a vacation, believing it would be a safe place for a solo trip. Natalsi decided to go to the APA Hotel and Resort in Tokyo, which is a well-known hotel chain. After a long day of sightseeing, she returned to a hotel and laid in bed before noticing a particularly repulsive smell. After some time, she had realized that it was coming from underneath.
Oh
the bed.
God.
Natalsi checked under the bed, coming face to face with a pair of eyes staring directly at her. She screamed and leapt off the bed. The Asian man climbed up from under the bed and stared at her for about 3 seconds.
I assume this is going to be a dead body.
Do you think he was naked?
No, I think he was just a weird, stinky man, little garbage man. At the moment, Natalsi claimed that those seconds felt like my life was over. Suddenly,
New
the man
legacy.
started screaming before turning and sprinting out the room.
You're in my brain. Can't see APA and not think always pounding ass. Hi, new and tasty. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. The APA. Oh, yeah, that was okay. Wait, new legacy. Always pounding ass. What is that's a reference to?
Pulls a Kevin McAllister.
They're
The police were
wrestling
contacted
people.
where they found a hidden power bank that the man was using for his phone, meaning he had potentially
Power
been
bank.
there for a long. He was there all day for sure. He was charged his
Uh.
phone, playing like Angry Birds and shit. He's so old game. Due to the lack of CCTV cameras in the hotel, the police claimed that there was little chance of identifying the man. But eventually, she
An
was able to get a
OSW
full
joke.
refund.
Y'all
for her
using
trip.
acronyms.
I stayed at a APA hotel.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? I forgot about that.
They're nice. Apparently, we need to fact check this, but apparently,
Wrestling
hotels run by a cult
At
leader.
wide joke. Oh, okay.
So maybe it was a
Oh,
cult
now I
member.
get it.
Man, maybe it was a cult member. They're like, go up there and take this battery and let it charge. She'll be up there real soon.
The CIA.
Hotel guests have a tendency to do whatever they want in hotel rooms. seeing
What the
as they're
fuck?
Paying for it. While some will settle for cranking up.
You know what you gotta do? Once you become a rock star, you gotta go to a hotel and go, wait a minute, I'm a famous rock star. I gotta throw this TV out the window. Because that's how you know you made it, when you throw a TV out the window, right? That's just part of the rules.
The AC all night, others treat the place like their own personal trash can. This was the case for Kelly Tedford, the OnlyFans hotel pisser. In New
what?
Hampshire, an OnlyFans model named Kelly Tedford was caught destroying a Marriott hotel room with her bodily waste. She had the
Well, that's good. Apparently the APA Hotel aren't owned by a cult, but by a far-right group. Okay, so it's a normal business. Gotcha.
plan of filming a video for her OnlyFans, Kinky Kelly, in which she would cover the entire
Kinky
room
Kelly.
in her own piss. She proceeded to pee all over the bedding, all over the curtains, even pissed on the AC unit, which it's like that's gonna blow it even more in the air. Which
That's
granted,
a
the room's
bad
gonna smell like
idea.
piss anyway, so she's like, fuck it. And she even pissed on the hotel Bible.
Based.
For good measure, she even took a on the floor, which she would later hide in the upper tank of the toilet.
I don't
That was
want to
she's
see
being a little-
that shit.
Being a little bitch, dude. That's one that just needs to be slapped around.
She needs to be shown
What?
a thing or two.
I mean, this woman a little bit.
We're kidding. She was arrested and
Not-
charged
not
with
'cause
criminal
she's a
mischief.
woman,
Further
but 'cause
investigation
she's a
showed that
freak.
She had been doing things like this for years. And in one case,
Ew.
she was arrested for peeing all over grocery store products. Jesus.
Oh no! I don't like that. I don't want to think about. I don't want to think about my bags of Doritos being covered in piss. Okay, I'm sure some people want to think about that, but not me. Maybe some of you yellow laser beam.
Christ. And a whole
No.
new problem with hotel guests emerges when you look at stories revolving around luxurious hotels.
Bunions
Some wealthy
need
guests can be
maximum
straight up
crisp. I don't
menaces. Some
see how
hotel workers
urine's
have
gonna
put
help
up
with
a
that.
very unique type of harassment, like the smear campaign orchestrated by a teenager named Theodore Weintraub. Theodore had been attempting to order a
Wait.
drink at the bar and named
Wait, I need to-
Some
I
hotel
need to go
workers
back.
have to put up with a very unique type of
Okay.
harassment, like the smear campaign orchestrated by a teenager named Theodore Weintraub.
Kinda
Theodore
looks
had been
like a
attempting to order a drink at the
douchebag.
bar inside of the Mark Hotel, an upscale spot known for its high-profile clientele. He was turned down due to him being 17, attempting to use a fake ID.
Well, yeah. If you're 17, like, no, you shouldn't be. Look, I don't, like, I know different cultures. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Talk to your dad. Talk to your severely drunken dad. Ask if you can have one of his, natty lights. And then he'll go, "You're trying to get in my booze." And then he punches you a few times. That's a normal childhood, right? Right? We all had that experience. Right?
Which caused him to become aggressive. After causing a scene, he was banned from the hotel for disturbing other guests, and he later tried to enter through
You
a dinner
consult
reservation
your
with his
goon
family,
circle.
only to be caught
Knew a
and denied
Weintraub.
entry.
It's
He
Ari
begged them to
Weintraub.
reconsider, only to flip out since he didn't get his way. And according to the filing, the defendant began accusing the hotel of being anti-Semitic and spitting in people's food until his father calmed him down. Theodore, stop it, Theodore, calm down. We're sorry. He usually gets his alcohol and he's fine, but God damn it, Theodore, calm down. There was also reports of hotel staff passing by him on the street near the hotel. Theodore became enraged and started screaming at them. This frustrated him.
Anti-Zionist. I don't think. I don't think that's factors in.
So much that 2 years later, he returned to the hotel only to enact his revenge. He hired multiple protesters to stand outside the hotel and smear their reputations with signs reading, "Mark supports Epstein. Mark
What?
denies the Holocaust, and
What?
the Mark spreads disease." Check, and check. All the while,
I mean, if you dig enough, probably.
Theodore sat inside of his Cadillac parked out front so he could
His
laugh at the
Cadillac.
scene unfolding. And at one point, hotel guests were physically accosted as well. Theodore made sure to do this during the busiest time when celebrity guests would be staying at the hotel, specifically Drake. At one point, they
Okay, maybe they are in with Epstein. Maybe he was right about that.
attempted to physically stop him from re-entering the hotel, causing a crowd of his fans to get into a physical altercation that ended in one protester being punched in the face. In the end, the hotel filed a restraining order.
I am in favor of ruining Drake's day. Drake's day. In this regard, Drake, a little bit. A little bit. I'm not going to say he didn't have a couple bangers early on, but I mean, as we all know, even those were ghost riders.
against Theodore and barred him from continuing his protest within 150 feet of the property. They're like, so you can do it, but just a little farther down.
Does that even work though? I feel like they.
Well, first off, if the protesters aren't getting paid, they're going to show up a couple times, but they're going to quickly be like, I can't keep doing this. You know? Also, him sitting in his Cadillac, he's like definitely like a little Nepo baby thing, just chortling, eating snacks.
Chortling.
Like, can you pay us more? I can. My dad doesn't give me allowance yet. Other hotel staff members
This is just, you know, the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. Let them fight for my entertainment.
have recounted stories of guests making them incredibly
They're always
uncomfortable in public
complaining.
forums. One worker tells a story
Always
of
complaining.
her creepiest night shift experience. One night shift worker explains that most of the
Ghosts?
calls they get late at night are from
Oh, no, it's going to be another pervert. I want some ghosts. That shit's fun.
creeps, which just makes sense. People, little gooners going out there being like, I'm outside, I can smell your panties.
Jeez.
Like a little prank call stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm outside. Whatever. Or just people just being like, what are you wearing? I mean, I could see that. Just weird shit.
Also drunk too, maybe.
Yeah, drunk assholes. I need a place to stay. She received a call at 1
Poor
a.m. from a
ghosts.
hotel guest, only to find
Agreed.
out that he was jerking off over the phone. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Do you think she heard it?
Yeah, dude. The pud? Probably definitely heard the pud was all wet, sound like a big like trough of
More
mud.
ghosts.
Do you think it was maybe
Ew.
hormones?
I was wondering if I could get away. Wake up call. Another staff member recounted the time that a naked man
Whoa.
ran into the lobby and started yelling at workers to give him directions to the bathroom. He was given directions, only
Okay, maybe this guy wasn't crazy. Maybe he got you know, the mob like trapped him in a room and fed him an insane amount of coffee. Maybe he was lactose intolerant and they force fed him milk. And then he broke out. You know, you got to do something.
to go the wrong way and end up running into a wedding party.
Ow!
The man began to panic, crying profusely, and he
My
turned
wedding.
back around, leaking all over himself and onto the floor. He had to be
Ew.
escorted out of the building by police, and the wedding event
Okay.
was comped with the hotel for their absurd interruption. How do we know that wasn't orchestrated?
I was just thinking
Okay.
the same thing.
I'm gonna do the same thing for
That could have been orchestrated. I don't know. You pay some guy to like run in covered in shit and go, well, we'll get a refund on our wedding. That'll make it worth it. Free wedding.
my daughter's wedding. When my daughter gets married, I'm gonna be like, here's $200. Just yourself and run through. Oh, come on, come on! And the whole thing is free. $200, and you save how many
The
thousands?
shit's ghost.
Easy to repeat too, because all you have to do
Oh,
is
yeah.
the wedding's there. Go.
In a Dead Talent Society, some of the lower, you know, the lower ring of ghosts are haunting not hotels, they're haunting toilets in parks. So if you go to take a shit, they go boo. Very funny stuff.
Go up to the staff.
Red
ask
envelope
the
ghost,
bathroom,
yeah.
Go the wrong way.
Easy peasy. The only problem is your wedding's in a hotel.
Oh, I'm in nice hotels.
No, it's
The
true.
Hilton
Yeah, but I mean, where'd you get married? The Hilton. Isn't it a typical thing, like just tiny chapels
or Barnes.
or barn? I got married on a beach,
Oh yeah, that's right.
on an Oregon beach.
I want to get married in Scotland on the cliff, and have my wife come
Dover?
down on a helicopter.
Some of the most entitled and
Where
chaotic.
do I want to get married? Dave and Buster's. I don't know. If I got married somewhere, I wouldn't want it to be a big thing. I'd just be like, why don't I go down and I don't know. We go to one of those places where they let you throw axes while you're drunk. Do something fun and low key. I have an interesting marriage story. Is it the marriage story about Adam Driver punching the wall? You literally don't have to get married. That's true. I mean, there's tax breaks or something. Sometimes people get married for, you know, immigration reasons. I want the Elvis priest. Yeah, isn't there's like a, when they were making Fallout New Vegas, there was like a cut, there's like a cut wedding you could have with, I forgot who it was. Was it Cassidy? Was it Victoria? And then you have the king officiate your wedding. And it's such a shame they didn't put that in the final game. I was married by a celebrity for reality entertainment in an abandoned bank. What it would be doxy to ask which? An abandoned bank. Like the one Rip Torn thought he lived in? Stan Lee. What? Hi, Pomey. Hi. How are you doing? Jazza, here's a smooch. Oh, thank you. How's everyone doing today? Well, we are learning about hotel perverts. I was hoping for ghosts and spooky shit, but it turns out it's all weirdos. Hey. Wish you could marry Arcade Gannon. I like Arcade Gannon. It's a shame his voice actor is crazy. Can send you a pic, but you'll edit out your face. You can if you want. Don't have to.
Chaotic guests at a hotel are easily from wedding parties. One front office manager of a hotel describes the most chaotic night of their entire career. 70 rooms were rented by attendees of the wedding, with the bride
70?
and bridesmaids infuriating nearby guests
fuck?
during the loud bachelorette party. After receiving 3 noise complaints, they decided to pay a group of kids $20 to run around the hallways in order to distract attention away from them. The next day, the bride and the bridesmaids angrily complained to the front desk worker about the staff telling them to quiet down. They believed that because their event gave them so much business, they deserved special treatment. Later, the worker had to assign guests to very specific.
So, wait, it's a loud, obnoxious, was it bachelorette party? And then you paid kids to be loud in turn? That kind of seems like you're just adding more chaos.
Rooms, as she was informed that several of the guests had cheated on each other and would have to be far apart. It's a crazy wedding, dude. The Hilton's getting a little wild.
Wedding.
The day of the wedding was full of guests screaming at the staff over small inconveniences. In the middle of the chaos, one mother reveals that her child drank too much pool water and ended up throwing up in the elevator.
Oh,
During
no.
the wedding reception, police had to be called due to adults buying drinks for the underage children. One of them gotten so drunk that he took his mother's keys, attempted to drive her car, and crashed in the parking lot.
Oh, so he literally did this. Let me see if I can find it. How should I search for this?
Latarian Milton is not your typical 7-year-old. Few his age have ever driven an SUV up and down several busy streets. It all started at his mother's townhouse. Latarian says he took
I always thought this was just a thing they made up in the Boondocks, but this is real.
the car keys and hopped into his grandmother's Dodge Durango.
When I came through the back door, I looked on the counter, my keys were gone.
I took my grandma car because I got mad at my mom, and then I saw him and had my friend come in, and he smokes with cigarettes.
He started the vehicle and put
Smoke
it into
with
gear.
cigarettes.
I yanked the thing.
And off they went. 2 7-year-olds alone on the road.
Is this the leprechaun
Latarian
thing?
drove
No.
Several miles through Lake Park in Palm Beach Gardens.
We got the one call that I told you about of a driver in the vehicle who looked too short.
This
to
is
be
the
able to see
kid
his
who
signal.
took
Along
his
the way,
mom's
he
car
ran
for a
over 2
joyride.
mailboxes,
Or his
hit 2
grandmother, I
parked
don't
cars in a
remember.
Costco parking lot and
Is
struck
that?
2 moving cars near Walmart.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things.
Yeah.
Into a car.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
It all ended
He wanted to do hood rat stuff with his friend.
on Investment Lane and Consumer Drive. That's where Latarian hit the curb and sideswiped the sign. The SUV took most of the beating, snapping off one of his axles and wheels. A grandmother's rage.
I want to whip his
Grandmother.
behind. That's what I want to do right now. If I thought they wouldn't take me to jail, I'd whip his behind right now.
You don't think he should be punished
Fair.
for all of this?
Just a little bit no video games for a whole weekend.
And one unusual story for police.
For a whole week,
Are you
and
sorry? You understand that now your grandma's going to have to pay to have those cars fixed because you hit those cars.
Can my mom help her?
can my mom help her? So yeah, he likes to do bad things like smoke with cigarettes.
Everyone was kicked from the venue, and the party resumed all night in the hotel rooms between arguing with staff who were trying to quiet them down. In the morning, the bride storms into the lobby and tells the front office manager that every single person should be refunded fully. The bride was furious over the fact that the cops were called, stating that they should be allowed to have fun and not be treated like a bunch of dogs. No refund was issued, and the worker threatened to call the cops once more if things continue to escalate. What I would have done is I would have been like, I have this hammer, and I'm going to drive it through your fucking skull. You and your trashy ass family. You know what? Actually, come
Nah,
here.
you
I would
gotta-
kill all of them with a hammer.
You gotta
But I'd
you
let
gotta
the
be
kids get drunk
respectful.
still. We've talked about some wild.
Unfortunately, you're not allowed to tell horrendous customers to go fuck off. You gotta be polite.
Hotel guest. Don't let that fool you. Hotel staff members can just as easily be the creepiest and most insane people.
That's true.
Look no further than the infamous story of Poop Gelato.
I don't want to watch this.
Did I grab your attention? Poop Gelato. Steve White and his wife Jessica had been staying in the Coogee Bay Hotel in Sydney, a popular beachfront tourist destination.
Australia.
While having a drink at one of the pubs on location, they were frustrated to find that the music they were playing overpowered the rugby match that they were trying to enjoy. They also complained that the food, the staff, and the price of their gelato and the other customer. The hotel decided to appease the two of them by sending a large complimentary bowl of gelato to their table.
I don't like this.
Would you like to have some gelato? It's from Italy. Among the various flavors of gelato in the bowl, the bottom seems to be layered with chocolate. Steve took a big bite, only to throw it up and retch over what seemed to be a giant log of shit hidden underneath the gelato. Jessica had already taken a bite as well, becoming violently ill. The hotel tried to offer them $5,000 to look the other way, which was denied. Instead, they took a sample of the feces and went to the police, who confirmed that it was indeed human excrement. Investigation into the poop gelato sampled failed to reveal who the culprit was. To save their reputation, the hotel employees signed contracts and forbid them from talking to the media. Jessica's reputation,
Who's poop? Did they just find some rando's poop? How did this happen?
however, was slowly ruined over the course of a month. According to her, everywhere I go, I'm now known as the one who ate the poo. It happens when I'm shopping, when I'm walking down the street, and when I'm on the sideline watching my son at Little Athletics on a Saturday morning. In the end, an undisclosed
I don't know. If I was the person who ate the poo, I'd kind of own that shit. Not a good end to that sentence. I don't know. If I was one of the people who, you know, tragically was underneath the Dave Matthews poop bus, I would be like, yeah, that was me.
amount of money was reached in a settlement between the hotel and the Whites. It had to have been like, you think it was at least 6 figures?
I'd say
They offered her 5, she said no, and then they're like,
Please
this is
don't
hush
eat
money. I
shit
bet you
unless
it's
you're
like
into
$6
that.
grand. I think that she
And if you're into coprophilia, I don't know, do the coprophilia safety stuff. I've not researched that. You would know better if you're a coprophile to like how to safely eat shit. Even though I don't think there is a safe way to eat shit. I think it would make you sick anyway. But you know, I'm not that informed about coprophilia.
probably shut that place down.
Moving
That's gotta
on.
be like bioterrorism, right? Some
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of crazy shit like that. And you got violently ill.
I
mean,
don't
like,
think there
people
is.
would
I
lose their jobs
don't
or strip. I mean, like, I
think
think
there
that
is
legitimately
either,
she
but
probably
I
could've shut
could
that
be
place down.
malinformed.
Mill.
You think $1 million for some poo? Nah, dude.
Well, the damages too. People call him poo lady.
Yeah, reputation. I'm just saying. I think someone would buckle under 100K. You want 100,000? Okay, I'm the poo girl. I'm
Let's
the poo
not-
woman.
I
I'd be that
agree.
way. In another disgusting display,
There
we
are
also have the Hilton-
I shouldn't pause on the Hilton toe sucker. Okay, this is a good image to pause on. Anyway, this is not the venue to discuss safe kink play. I mean, I don't have a problem with, you know, just a little bit of discussion of that, but this is not the place to get educated.
Toe
I can't
sucker,
help
which
you.
is my favorite story of this entire video. In Nashville, such a beautiful city for music, right? Once again, at a Hilton downtown hotel, a man named Peter
This is
Brennan
outside
was
that
asleep
circle
before the day
here.
of a big work conference. He awoke to a man sucking his toe.
This is a good photo of Quentin Tarantino. I possibly photoshopped. I don't know.
In the dead of night, Peter immediately leaped into the air and started screaming as the man sprinted out the room. This man was David Neal, the manager of the
Wait. This is a man who don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm a toe sucker. What you gonna do about it? Probably call the cops, but that, you know, he doesn't think about that.
David Neal, the manager of the Hilton Hotel, who was
Tintin
working a night shift.
Quarantino.
David made copies of
Quentin
the guest key in order to break into the
Tartolini?
room and perform strange acts as a part of this weird, sick fetish. Definitely sexual. Definitely hard doing it the entire time. Must have been a good-looking guy, huh? Had sandals on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely saw.
You're in room 428. Have a good night. A warrant was put out for his arrest, and he was eventually taken into custody for aggravated burglary. This wasn't his first run-in with the law, as he had previously served prison time due to a slew of crimes. Brennan told reporters that he started going to therapy after the whole ordeal and still does not feel safe in his own home. If there was something like that, that would f me up too. People can probably attest to this. There's got to be viewers that we have that has had someone break into their home.
Dear viewer, if you have any crazy stories involving your house being broken into, people watching you sleep, etc., please leave them in the comments below. I'm not going to do that.
Home or anything while they were there or sleeping. That invasion of privacy and security, dude.
But does it make sense if it's in a hotel? Because that makes sense if someone broke into my house and sucked my toes.
Yeah, but hotels, I mean, that's the same thing. Any place where you are sleeping and you lock the door, I think that follows you. Because then when you go home, you like hear some shit. It's just like the psychological damage to it. I think
it's trauma.
Even if it wasn't your home or your own hotel room.
Jazza,
Let's
how
say
will
you're
we
staying
be
at a
safe
buddy's
if you
house,
don't
it would
explain the
fuck you up
safety
forever.
guidelines
That's what
around
I've been
kinks?
hearing, like rats
The
in
internet's
the
there.
ceiling.
You said that too with what?
Google
your
it.
voice was, like,
Don't
broken.
use the AI.
Rats.
I don't think it's rats, but maybe squirrels.
I think that's you
Go
having
to-
like sleep paralysis.
I don't know,
and
Reddit.
you're just envisioning things. You also get like 1 hour of sleep a night. I'm starting to hear weird things. Little gnomes running around my attic. Some of the scariest things to come out of the hotel experience is not the creepy people or staff members. It's the things people find in their rooms. It's common for people to find human
Ew.
excrement in their
Ew.
rooms. People, there's
Ew.
poo. Get over it. One hotel Marriott guest came out of the shower and pulled a towel from the rack, only to find that there was
No.
a baseball with smearing of poo on it. Others have alleged.
How did that get there? You think shouldn't they be cleaning it? How are you using used towels when you go to a hotel? Ew. Not washed? Ew. I'm not gonna think about that.
Usually found hidden cameras placed inside the hotel room, sometimes pointed directly
Yeah,
at
this
their toilet.
happens
That's the biggest
sometimes.
thing. The amount of like hidden cameras I see in like smoke alarms, people put it in like AC.
I don't trust the internet. I only trust Jazza. That is true. Everyone, you should change your opinions to my opinions and take everything I say at face value as 100% truth without any sort of bias or misinformation. You should eat Tide Pods. They're tasty.
events, all that kind of shit. Also, power outlets, like the screw for your power outlet, that can be a camera. There's apparently a wand you can do to like
Don't use
around a
hotel
room.
towels.
Yeah.
Fair.
There's,
Literally
there's
changed my name
something
to be
people do with
closer to
tape. I don't know if
Jazza.
it's
I
control,
trust Jazza. Don't make me into a weird cult figure. I'm just a cartoon on the internet, and I yell shit, and I stammer and stuff. I'm not anything special. I'm not smart. Don't do it.
They like put tape on windows and they put like a marker.
Jazza
with it to
Radio
see if it's,
Oregon,
like, a
the
see-through
voice of
mirror,
truth
too.
in America.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I've heard that too with like hotel paintings and because they're like I've heard that can be like a two-way mirror too.
With a painting?
Just like the
Yeah,
name.
or like a
That's
glass
fair.
frame painting. And
Being
it's like, oh, this is just a
influenced is
picture.
fine.
I've heard. I've seen some crazy shit.
I am
Which makes you
influenced
think
by
when I see the
many
girl who's
things.
Like, let me lock the door, and she puts like 70 things up to. I'm like, I don't fucking blame you. Also, too, you know, you think I want my tiny dick and like my fat shit splayed out in the dark web for to be
Ew.
sold? Not really. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting there beating my little monkey cock and then that's put online, that'd fuck me up.
That's true. I guess, you know, some of it's rational.
The government's
I think it's all
putting
rational. If I walked by and I saw somebody doing
cameras
that, who
in
am
your
I to be like
poo-poo
paranoid much?
room.
And then of course that's when the next day, look at my phone and just sees me like beat my little. I'm like,
I am nobody's
Online, I'm
God. God. I mean,
how did they get that?
That's a
One
good
hotel
image.
worker had even stumbled across a live baby that had been abandoned in
What?
the parents' room. I hear that happens all the time. Well, that's the whole thing with dumpster babies too.
oh
Well, I was
no.
gonna say, was this a staff member? Did they just leave the baby in?
I'm thinking that it was a guest. The thing too is I think people are fucked up and they'll rationalize it. Well, like, I mean, he was in a comfortable, warm place.
Also, yeah, they leave it in a hotel room to be like, well, the staff will find
Well,
it.
they'll find it. Yeah. As if that like makes it okay. Well, someone's gonna stumble on it eventually.
I mean, don't they have your info? Don't they have your names? They can track you down. Look, there are probably better ways to abandon a baby. Like, I don't know, leave them at a library.
We left a
Would
bunch of
register under a
crackers and
fake name.
Pringles
Don't,
on the
but they have
image,
your
be
payment
fine.
info.
Have you seen the baby boxes?
How's that
Cities
gonna
have
work?
The thing where it's like a big, like metal fucking box with a little window. You can put a baby in it, and when you close it, you pull like a string. and
Use
it calls
cash?
The fire department.
Yeah, I guess.
What year are
Who
you talking
uses
about?
cash
This
these
is
days?
2025.
No,
Yeah.
no. There
The answer is old people. And that's why every time I go to the pharmacy, when I just want my energy drinky, I gotta wait. Gotta wait 20 minutes for them to pull out the exact change. And I'm sitting there. They're not opening another register. I'm just standing there. I'm looking around awkwardly. I'm eyeing the magazines. And I don't want to know about Tom Cruise's gay fling with J.K. Simmons.
There's no way there is a
Don't
metal
care.
delivery box for a child to, first off, bake in, and then also that you pull a string that calls the fire department. That seems like something in a Buster Keaton film.
It's got AC.
Yes, you
and a
would. If
little
it was
tablet with
real.
the baby, it's like
The
you
shit
put-
never comes up anywhere except gossip rags.
That's probably true. And as you would expect, multiple people have had the experience of stumbling across a dead body. In college, I saw a dead body. It's f***ed up. I thought it was
1 second. My caffeine went down the wrong tube. Maybe I should mute that.
a guy sleeping. It's a homeless guy.
Yeah, I told him about that.
It's fucking horrible.
Okay, I think I'm good.
Was it kind of like
No.
Stand By Me?
No, it wasn't as cool as
Stand By
It
Me.
was like really sad. Actually, I guess it's Stand By Me. It was pretty sad in that too. I don't know. You sit
Yeah.
there and you're like, oh shit. Well, because you think
You're
at
a
first
train
it's just like a
track.
homeless guy sleeping in this park.
Did
Like,
you
oh,
poke
damn.
it with
And
a
you,
stick?
Look at it, and he was just dead. So we called the cops.
That's my fear. I'm gonna be walking.
Caffeine in the lungs.
Dead body.
That's my fear.
Hate when I'm eating food too
Not
quickly.
snakes, not-
And then a
not
little bit
claustrophobic,
of
but if I see a
potato.
dead body, that's my biggest
Potatoey matter gets in
That's why
there.
I've never been able to go to a funeral. Some people have found bizarre items like kangaroo tail covered in maggots inside of the
Ew,
oven. Another
what?
person found tons of raw steaks in their
Was this also in Australia?
room. And apparently, he was being kicked out of the hotel and he started throwing the raw steaks directly at housekeeping staff. What he caught him.
How many raw
in the cooler.
steaks did you have on hand?
But nothing is as strange as what one hotel remodeler found during a job. He looked underneath a piece of furniture to find what looked like a dark human-like figure with large breasts. Just show the photos of that. I don't know what I would do. At first, I think it's a real body. Like, oh my
is it
God. The man
TOS
noted that there was
to show
old
that?
blood left behind on it. And
What?
people were convinced that it was some kind of weird makeshift sex doll. When asked how the material felt, he said, I will never forget the crunchy feeling. Sound like picking up like a pile of leaves.
Well, technically, I wouldn't
Some
consider it a
people bring
body
full
after
wep-
it got hit. It was more of just an amalgamation of flesh. True. Do you think that the body possesses a soul and is a soul linked to the body? Y'all think about that. I don't have time.
Weapons into the room, only to leave them there. One hotel worker
Wait, what?
admits that housekeeping completely missed a
Gun?
loaded firearm in a drawer upon cleaning the room. An
Free
entire
gun!
new family was booked and checked out before anyone realized that the gun was there. In a strange scene, one hotel worker in charge of doing laundry walked into a room to find that a jacuzzi tub was filled to the brim with Jell-O, stained the material so bad that it had
Okay,
to be
that's just
professionally cleaned and
whimsical.
fully taken apart.
You know what? Filling a jacuzzi tub with Jell-O, I'll take that. After all the perverts, this is just a funny little event in everyone's life. Probably by some kids who were just having a little too much fun. I'll take that. That's wholesome.
Due to it being crammed into the jets. That's I like how we couldn't lead with just
Jell-O
like the
koozie.
Jell-O jacuzzi. Instead, that's at the end after everyone has clicked off for poop and blood, sex dolls, and dead people. Okay, hotels
Yeah.
bring people from all walks of life. Sometimes things can lead to some truly bizarre and crazy encounters. If you're checking into a hotel, just act like a normal fucking person, dude. Don't bother anyone, and perhaps buy some extra locks so nobody bothers you. Thank you so much for watching
True.
this video, and good luck out there. Bye-bye.
Have you had any weird hotel stories?
Yes.
Oh, well, we're not going to learn about that. Okay, so, all right, we got a little bit of time before we hit the second ad break. What shall I throw on? What shall I throw on? Don't have that much time. What is I Want a Divorce Man with Arm Around Wife? Weird Al? That's a little too long. What is this?
John, I want a divorce.
Divorce.
It's not funny, John, and you know it's been coming for a long time.
Are these actors?
Divorce.
Why do you always laugh when I'm upset?
Oh, every time you say divorce, you just look so cute.
I'm serious this time, John.
Serious.
I'm absolutely serious. And you're treating this like some kind of game. I'm tired of it, John.
We love games.
Not anymore. Not your kind of games. Your games are cruel.
Divorce.
Stop laughing.
Jazz, it's 105
This is not
degrees
funny.
Fahrenheit and I'm at work.
Things
Oof.
have been working out
Stay
for a
hydrated.
long time, and every time I try
Wear
to talk to you about it,
sunscreen.
you laugh.
Be
So
careful.
I'm not laughing anymore with you, and I'm not playing these games. My lawyer's going to contact yours tomorrow. He'll draw up the papers, and that'll be it. We can go our separate ways.
Oh, no. Can't go, no.
Is this
Can't go
AI
separate
generated
ways. No,
people?
can't go
Hi,
separate
Koi.
ways.
The answer is no, because. Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, Koi. How are you doing? I'm gonna give her a shout out. Damn. Ah! Why'd you have to play Monster Train 2? You triggered the thingy. I hope you're doing well. When did this come out? I think 13 years ago. AI has not been a thing yet.
It's just not. It's just not.
Just not
It's not what?
tail end of being
Well,
sick. Well,
you
at
know,
least it's the final.
I don't know.
The
Say what you
final.
mean.
I was
But
about
it's
to say
hard to
countdown.
talk about, you know.
But then I was like, I
It's hard for you
should
to
say
talk about
something more
anything.
clever than
I know,
that.
I know.
Oh
Last
well.
time we had a conversation.
It's a
15
little low.
years, and all
Bring
I
a lot
hear
of
from
tea
you
to
is
recover.
laughter.
Drink that tea.
Every time I want to be serious.
Soothe that throat. Hopefully soon it will be
Well-
a distant memory.
It's hard. You know, I think of us as, oh, I don't know. Okay, two oysters. Raw
Two oysters.
oysters. Oh, and you're the pearl. And I'm just this oyster that just doesn't ever know how to tell you how much he loves you. So, I go around, the fish chase me, and you laugh, and I don't know, it kind of seems
The
like
fish chase me?
that's
What?
the only way I can tell you how much you mean to me. I know you gotta know what I mean. I know it used to
Flag.
be that you'd look at me and you'd laugh, and
That was when we were younger, John. We're not young anymore. You used to be funny. You used to make me laugh. Now you just use these jokes as a way to stay away from me, to not tell me how you really feel.
so you mean I'm like reruns?
Exactly.
Well, okay. Let me see. I know. Here's
You
the way
you ever get divorced and become the Joker?
I remember a Ponderosa episode. I don't know, it was 60, 63. Pa came home. Long day on the range. Hop Sing had not even started cooking dinner.
She starts cracking up.
Pa was mad. The boys weren't home. Boys were gonna be mad when they got home. And, you know, Pa, he likes to feel responsible. And he said to Hop Sing, he said, Hop Sing, how come you don't even have dinner ready to be put on the table? And Hop Sing said, you never ever thank me for making dinner. Pa was flabbergasted.
This is
He
me
thought
when
about
I
it.
don't know the dialogue.
He's right.
I'm just trying to
He
wing it.
never ever told Hop Sing how much he enjoyed the food that he put on the table for him and the boys. And he said, Hop Sing, I'm flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I think you're right. I've never, ever told you how much I appreciated your putting food on the table. But it's not because I don't like your food, and certainly it's not because I don't like to have you cooking the food for me and the boys. So you see,
You can hear the police siren in the
I'm
background.
saying I'd be lost without you. You're like my shadow in the afternoon when I'm hungry and my shadow's long. You're
What
there.
is this?
Right
Is this
behind
supposed
me,
to be a demo
taking care
reel
of
or
me.
something?
And you know what? I've never thanked my shadow.
Line. I don't know what that was. What was that? Oh, completely improvised scene shot with 2 cameras then edited. She was told to say, "I want a divorce" as her first line. He was given nothing. Nothing else was discussed or planned. Okay. Okay, they had to make it all up. That makes it better. For sure. Is this another one? Because we got a few minutes. We got a few.
Hi, my name is Carla Shaw.
What is this? Just one explanation. This is from 2014. It's got 31 million views. How do I not know what this is? There's the ad coming.
You can stop at 5 or 6 stores or just one. I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
Hi, I'm Todd LaRue. You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one. I feel like a deer in the headlights of love.
What?
Honey, you've got
What?
a big storm coming.
Honey, you've got
You
a
could stop
big
at 5 or
storm
6
coming.
stores, or just one.
Why that line?
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one. Can I ask you kind of a weird question?
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
What?
I am the queen of the universe. The waves part, and they engulf me, and the water is warm.
Or just one. I can see the Statue of Liberty from here.
What?
You could stop
Whoa!
at 5 or 6
Whoa,
stores. or
he
just
went
one.
above and
I
beyond.
can't stand it when she touches me. People
What?
say that time heals all wounds.
I hope that's never explained. All right. This looks fun, but I'll leave it for another time. The ad break is going to hit in 1.5 minutes. Okay, thank you for that. I'm not entirely sure what it was. It looked like a series of improv exercises that got filmed for some reason. There is no explanation as to what this is. Can anyone help me? A bunch of people, footage comes from a 2008 acting audition reel. Okay, now I get it. Shot by a company called Satori Film, based in Nebraska. Satori Film, based in Nebraska? It's designed to be a green screen acting demo where aspiring actors could showcase their ability to perform short lines for commercial or industrial work. The line: "You could stop at a store," for a now defunct department store chain, Filene's Basement. But the line itself is likely just placeholder copy and not tied to any real commercial. They weren't given much direction, and in some cases they were told to improvise a second line or add a dramatic flourish. That makes sense. Everyone delivered the line differently, with varying levels of theatricality, confusion, or misplaced emotion. You know, I kinda wish I'd never found out what that was. It removes a little bit of the magic. but I would like to thank you for showing those to me. The ad break's about to hit. When we get back, I'm going to play a video game instead of this. So, BRB, we're gonna do some Heretic. I will be a heretic. Chicago Pope's coming for my ass. In a minute. Yellow. I have done 0 testing of this because it just came out. So if there's a problem that's widespread that I'm unaware of, rip me. Okay, I'm starting the game. Play. Oh, we can launch the DOS version, but we're not going to do that. Oop. Okay, and oh. Look, it's me as a sandwich. And what did I just grab? That's not the sandwich. You can't hear anything. Can't see anything. Ah! Wait, what did I grab that time? Okay, thank you. You can't see me in spooky mode right now. I need to find a way to make that work a little better on this screen. Ooh, what if I turn my head like, yeah, okay, it shows up a little better, but I can't really see it. Okay, sound mixer. Settings. You don't need to worry about that, but... Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Why are there two? Why are there two in my sound mixer? Uh-oh. That works. What's the other one, though? Here, I'm just gonna... Boop. Yeah, do that for now. Okay. Seems to be working, though. You can you hear the audio? Why is it... It's a little quiet. Maybe it's fine. It'll probably get louder when I'm hurling spells around. And now you gotta see the game. That'd be nice. Is this it? That should be it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Heretic! This is Raven Software's early work. Doing a game for the Doom engine. Heretic access several accessibility. Okay, let me... Hello? Do I need to... Oh, I need to click back on. Doy. Crank it up a little. High contrast text, menu typeface, modern or classic. Kind of like classic. Screen flash effects. So my question is, when they did the Doom remaster, they had that off by default, and that was kind of a problem because some of those flashes were important, you know, tells, like when your health was low. So I'll leave it off for now. Reduce red textures. Maybe that's good. Transparent projectiles. Reducing the intensity of screen effects. Okay. Notification time. Default is 4. Oh, hey, let's double that. Communication. Read chat out loud. I don't need that. I'm also not doing multiplayer. I wish there was a Doom engine like Mugen, Open Bore, or RPG Maker. Well, I mean, there's GZ Doom, but I don't know if that's what you're asking for. Hi, Tilted. How are you doing? Reduce red textures just in case you're a bull. Yeah, for my anger management issues. Speak for me in voice chat. But I don't need to worry about that right now. All right, so we can do the remix or the original. And it is Andrew Hulshult. Can I hear it? All right, I need this thing. It needs to be louder. Why is it so quiet? So there's the original, and we got Hulshult, who is kind of a goat. So I don't mind doing that. Here, move myself back. Hi, Tilted. I'd want to import a bunch of weapons from a bunch of Doom and Doom clones. There's mods that do that. Like, there's mods that import a bunch of shit from, like, Blood and Duke Nukem. There's WADs for pretty much everything. WADs. Original? Okay, well, I mean, I want to give the remix a listen, but I can do original for now. Heretic Hexen, I'm blocking his ad. Hi, Lindy. How are you doing, Lindy? The sandwiches could be a little better place. I'm trying to select the sandwich. Glue, why'd you do this? There we go. You're a little too big. I will drink water. Do you have any WADs? I got Doom mods, if that's what you're asking for. Streamer should do what streamer wants on streamer's stream. I mean, I like both. I'm fine with either. But, you know, if you want the original, then I understand. Press any button to continue.